Peace, family. Vicky Dillard here for African Diaspora News Channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're so pleased that you have joined us today. Be sure to engage and thumbs up the video, share, and subscribe to the network and to our new app and website. This expands our presence around the world, and you make us a solidified, unified force to be reckoned with. Thank you so very much. Family, I hope, dear family, here in the United States, my Black brothers and sisters, and of course, my Black family in the diaspora, I hope you recognize that based on the reporting of not only myself, but my beautiful colleagues here, when we're giving you reporting of the goings on around the globe, you got to know that you must be something special. You've got to know that you pose a very real threat to the imperialist anti-Black order of the world, because they wouldn't go through these lengths to refuse to leave and to refuse to stop creating madness, death, and destruction. Did you know that recently here in the United States of America, U.S. Senator from Kentucky, Dr. Rand Paul, the United States Senate rejected his bid to remove the troops from Niger. The U.S. Senate on Thursday overwhelmingly rejected legislation that would have forced President Joe Biden to withdraw U.S. troops from Niger, a West African nation where military officers seized power in July. Family, I need you to really think about that for a moment. By the way, in the United States, there was a political maneuver that Rand Paul had to instigate in order to force a vote on this in the first place. But after forcing the vote, the measure came back rejected 86-11. There's 100 senators, 2 per state. Overwhelmingly rejected it. Think about that. The United States formally declared this month that there had been a military coup d'etat in Niger, which results in officially suspending assistance. But U.S. officials said there were no plans to change the United States troop presence in the country. Remember, for the longest, the United States refused to even acknowledge that there was a coup there, because that would legally bind the hands of the United States from doing certain business there. But notice the but. It says that Niger has been a partner for Washington's fight against Islamist insurgents who have been killed, we should say deleted, thousands of people and displaced millions more in Africa. There are about 1,000 Department of Defense personnel in the country. Republican Senator Rand Paul, who sponsored the legislation, argued that the troops were improperly deployed without congressional approval, and said Americans should not be at risk of getting caught in the crossfire of a conflict in Niger. The United States made a little trick, which briefly, the long and short of it is they basically made a new little side rule that basically said, they basically excused their presence for those troops there. And now notice they're saying that Niger is a partner in its fight against Islamists and insurgents. Watch this. With the Middle East on fire, what sense does it make to have over 1,000 troops in Niger? Does it make sense to station over 1,000 troops in a country, he says, ruled by a military junta? Paul said in a speech. Senator Ben Cardin, the Democratic chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, said that if Americans withdraw, it could leave a vacuum that could be filled by Russia or its partner, Wagner mercenaries. Family, that's not a good enough reason to be illegally on the continent. They're trying to fight Russia. They don't want Russia to have all the secrets. They don't want Russia to have all the benefits. And let me tell you something else. In my belief, my strong prophetic belief, because I'm a spiritualist, I'm prophetic. Another reason why they don't want, quote unquote, Russia and its mercenaries there is because the United States doesn't want all of its secrets out, what it's been up to. And it's millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars it's spent to build its drone base there. And it's millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, which includes a whole lot of our very Black U.S. taxpayer dollars over there to maintain it. Cardin says we do not give enough attention to that part of the world. We certainly don't want to signal that we're abandoning that part of the world. You all, since when did America care about Africa? She has a secret agenda. And what is her drone bases looking at over there with those drones? I did some more digging and research. I found out that the drone base in Niger is not just a drone base. It's one of the most expensive drone bases that we have anywhere. One of the most expensive ones that we have anywhere, drone bases. It goes on to talk about how of the past decades, the U.S. troops have trained Nigerian forces in the counterterrorism and operated 2 military bases, including one that conducts drone missions against Islamic State and Al Qaeda affiliates in the region. We done already told you with overwhelming evidence, credible testimonies, that the United States, France, and Western countries are the ones that are sponsoring and or creating and backing these so-called terrorist organizations in order to justify its presence there and claiming they're coming to be partners. I don't believe my brothers and sisters in Nigeria are stupid at all. They've shown themselves to be adept, intelligent, sagacious, and moving with wisdom. Some folks have even said, well, why is it that some of these nations are removing France, but they haven't removed the United States? Let me tell you something. I believe that there may be some of them, particularly my brothers and sisters in the Burkina Faso and Niger places. Sometimes you have to do one thing at a time. I trust that my brothers and sisters there are making a plan and moving with wisdom. I just wanted to report this information. But you all know that we're the new world rulers. But what's going to give us our edge against the greatest forces in the world, even though these other countries tend to be able to use and exploit the resources there more than even you are at the moment, not forever, but at the moment. Even though they appear to be the most powerful with the biggest weapons, let me tell you something. There's an unseen government and there's an unseen spiritual army. There's an army you can see and there's one that you can't see. What gives us our edge is when we tap into our supernatural powers. This is what I, along with Mystic Rod Hayes, are going to be teaching you about your royal bloodline. This forbidden knowledge. The Vatican, the United States, NASA, and other countries has this forbidden knowledge about you, but you don't know it. And we keep saying, how is it that the darker peoples of the world, the melanated peoples of the world, make up the majority, but only a minority rule? We're going to be talking about exactly what we can do about that in some of our sacred ancient secrets on Sunday, November 12th. Mark your calendar, Sunday, November 12th. You cannot afford to miss this. If you want to bless your lineage and remove it from certain spells, hexes, and curses, and you want to begin to bless it so that we can be put in a position to prosper, you don't want to miss Sunday, November 12th. It wasn't initially Sunday, November 5th, but now November 12th, due to technical reasons, we had to change it. Go to my website and save your seat today, VickiPlanet.com. The link should be below. Vicki Planet, that's VICKI Planet.com. I can't wait to see you again.